This week, we have a lot going on that pertains to not going back to school. So I'm still focusing on that for the rest of August. Now, tomorrow, August 24th, I have the annual Not Back to School webinar. It's at 1 p.m. Central. I'll email the recording to anyone who can't make it live, probably within a day or two. And I'll have a couple of free PDFs for everyone to help you dive a little deeper into the concepts, like creating new traditions or dealing with critics or seeing the learning in everyday life. Something I just looked up, the Unschooling Mom to Mom page anniversary is tomorrow too, on the 24th of August. I've been posting here for 11 years. It's funny to see a couple of the memes that I shared in the very beginning. It had a lot to do with the parenting and personal season that I was in. So the first one is a drawing that says she was being true to herself. The next one is a photo of a path over a stream. Then a Napoleon Hill meme that says, the time will never be just right. Oh, and this one, life is a balance between holding on and letting go. Let's see, my kids at the time were 23, 21, and 18. No wonder I felt that way. And the cover for that first Facebook page was your kids, their learning, your relationship with them. Those are the only things that matter. So that was kind of the first tagline for Unschooling Mom to Mom 11 years ago and pretty much still today. So thanks for indulging me and letting me do that little memory lane walk with you. You know, I've certainly been adding to Unschooling Mom to Mom since then, and mainly because I had come out on the other side with grown kids. I could see it really did work. I wasn't anyone special, just a mom from the suburbs like many of you. And I kept thinking, people should know this. They should know that they don't have to accept the status quo. They can have so much more with their kids and their families and even themselves. So that's the direction I started heading. I'm like a lighthouse, showing you where to go, or a tour guide, pointing out cool things to see and things to avoid. I worried about so many things unnecessarily. I want to help you see that so much of that is just a waste of time. And I'd love to help you even more because unschooling really does work. So join us in the membership group this month and skip the sign-up fee. For $49 a month, that's just $12 a week, roughly. You can get support from me, 2 group coaching calls a week, an incredibly supportive unschooling community of parents to bounce ideas off of, and a membership resource library that is so packed with information and tools. One of the new members just said, oh my gosh, I had no idea you have so much stuff available for us to use. So I guess I need to do a little better showing everyone what's back there. You'll love it though. And you can pay month by month or annually and get 2 months free and a year's worth of support. Okay. Enough about all of that. I just want to be sure that you get the resources you need to be successful at this. So last week, I posted my snarky meme about not going back to school, and Facebook decided to share it with a ton of people, way more than my sleepy little Facebook page normally gets. The meme was just a typical anti-conformity meme, something that we've been sharing at this time of year for at least 10 years. You can go watch the video I did about it. I would actually love it if you would. Leave a comment over there and let me know what you think. Lots of people are just starting to unschool this year, and they're looking around wondering, okay, how do we start? So I have a few tips for you today in this podcast, things to do with your kids, some ideas for you to do for yourself, and just some reminders that I think will help. First, for the kids, ask around to see if there's a not back to school party hosted by a local homeschool group. Even if they're not unschoolers, your kids won't care. And if the conversation among the parents shifts to what are you doing for math or spelling, go push the kids on the swing or say you left something in the car and you'll be right back. Another idea, go out to breakfast, brunch in our case, on the day that school kids go back. Something special, IHOP. One of my kids always wanted to go to IHOP. Another thing, let them sleep in and then take a picture of them. Even if you just keep it for yourself, Put a little label on it that says first day of school. Put it on a thread where we have at Facebook for first day of school photos. We have that in the private closed Facebook group. You could always put it there. Host a midday potluck for your homeschooling friends. Have everyone bring something so it's not a big burden to you. You may be out of the habit of doing this or going to things like this, but this is what it looked like pre-pandemic, in case you didn't know. Lots of casual, just a few families sharing some experiences. It's not a logistics nightmare when you just have a few people to get together. So think about that. Or maybe let your kids have a slumber party on a school night. Ooh, very daring, right? Make a week or two of great day trip excursions that your kids would enjoy. Children's museums, nature centers, amusement parks. Think of how short all the lines will be. Use the brainstorm guide to think about where you want to go and what you want to do in the community. Or head to the beach or go camping. The places will be cleared out and you can avoid the hype altogether. Same for parks or swimming pools. They'll be ghost towns. Perfect, right? Okay. I have 3 tips for you as the unschooling parent. Number 1, start a list of your reasons why you think unschooling is a good idea for your child. I know you've heard me say this before, but this time I really want you to do it. You might even be adding to this as time goes on, or maybe this time next year you pull it out and add more or make some comments on it. I have a podcast about what's your why. I'll link it so you can dive into that. I think I mentioned it before in another podcast recently. It's such a good thing to do. Number 2, work your way through the Not Back to School playlist I have at YouTube. Put yourself on a personal challenge. Do 1 video a day over coffee while kids are Minecrafting before you start scrolling Facebook or Instagram. Doing this will pull unschooling to the front of your mind and keep your foundation stronger. Otherwise, it's easy to be blown off course. Number 3, think about creating your own support system. What do you need? How do you feel supported? What would that look like? I have another podcast about how to do this, and we'll talk about it tomorrow on the webinar. But you're not doing parenting and educating in a one-size-fits-all way now. You're going to do better if you think about a plan. Don't worry, nothing crazy. And in fact, I didn't do a lot of planning, but I recommend it now because I found myself blowing all over the place while my kids were growing up. And if I had created my own strategy and maybe had some accountability with it, it would have helped. Okay, so that's plenty of that. Got your kids, got you. Now I just want you to close your eyes and let these ideas fill you up. Just 10 ideas to remind yourself. You can add them to your own list of whys. They're reasons to unschool, reasons to take this approach. Okay, ready? Take a deep breath. Relax. Everything else can wait for just a couple more minutes. You're going to reclaim your child's childhood for them and with them. You'll be able to protect your child's love of learning, finding amusing opportunities and fun experiences. Your child will avoid one of school's big lessons, intellectual and social conformity. Your child will be able to develop at their natural pace and have a truly individualized approach for learning. Your child will have far less peer pressure. Your child will be able to truly learn what's in front of them instead of just remembering and repeating. Your child will be able to avoid the constant test prepping that happens in schools. Your child will not be terrified of making a mistake. Your child will be able to live in the world instead of just read about it. And your relationship with your child can be so much deeper and richer because of the experiences you're going to have together. These are just a few ideas that come to mind for many unschooling families. I'm sure you'll have a lot more to add and you can create a list of your own. Just remember, all this back to school hype will end after Labor Day. So why not try to celebrate your family during these few weeks of chaos? Remind yourself and help your children to see that your family has an exciting year ahead too. Maybe the last couple weeks of August can be full of new traditions for your family. Go ahead and ride this wave of enthusiasm that we're being bombarded with during the back to school season. Harness it and let it be a celebration of your family's freedom to choose unschooling. I'm here to help you navigate if you need more resources. Let's ride these waves together. Surf's up. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to the Unschooling Mom to Mom podcast. If you've already subscribed, leave a comment on the podcast platform or over at the blog post where we have this transcript. Reach out to tap into any of the resources we have at the Unschooling Mom to Mom website. Enjoy the kids, and we'll talk again soon.